Hey everyone, the awards season for 2025 is ongoing, and I thought I should make a list of my top 10 most favorite films of the year. This list is completely personal, and you are welcome to disagree with me. I'd like to mention a few films that I didn't watch, which created enough buzz that they might come into my top 10, but for now they aren't. Also, I did not watch any animated films of the year, so they are out as well. Now, before I start the countdown, I want to give a quick shout out to some honorable mentions. These are the films that I really enjoyed, but they just barely missed the top 10. Number 1, Jake Kelly. Noah Baumbach's latest is a masterclass in grown-up filmmaking. George Clooney gives a brilliant performance as a movie star who has spent so much time being someone else that he has forgotten who he really is. It's a witty, soulful, and deeply moving look at celebrity, family, and the realization that life is a one-take situation with no do-overs. Then I got F1. I am as shocked as the next guy at F1's Best Picture nomination, but honestly, it's a good movie. Watching it in theaters was immensely fun. The story is typical and we know the outcome, but Brad Pitt carried the film with so much grace, and Hans Zimmer elevated it with his music. Next up, Black Bag. Steven Soderbergh and David Koepp have crafted a sleek and sexy spy thriller. Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett are electric as a married couple who realize they might be hunting each other in a game of high-stakes espionage. It's tight, hilarious, and lastly, Roofman. I didn't expect much from this movie, but I was really surprised. Channing Tatum is magnetic in this bizarre, unbelievable true story. Derek Cianfrance finds the perfect balance between the absurdity of the situation and the genuine heart of a man trying to find a place where he belongs. Now let's get into my top 10. At number 10, Rekhachitram. It's the Malayalam crime thriller. I absolutely loved the gripping tale and how they handled unraveling the mystery, with such a sweet story of a teenager and her dream to be in cinema. Don't disregard this as just another cop thriller, because it rises above that. It balances the cold, hard, procedural elements with a surprisingly warm heart that keeps you rooting for more than just a closed case. The way it treats the protagonist's cinematic ambitions adds a layer of soul you rarely find in the genre, making the eventual payoff feel deeply personal. At number 9, The Roses. This is a tale as old as time, but Tony McNamara gives us a fresh new take, and I loved it. Watching a marriage crumble is tough, but this film turns a total marital collapse into a darkly comic masterpiece. Tony McNamara's writing is the film's oxygen, transforming the raw reality of divorce into a relentless volley of witty jokes and scathing banter. It's a sharp, intelligent, and surprisingly hilarious descent into madness that stands as a total hit. At number 8, I have Materialists. Celine Song's Materialists is a masterclass in how modern romance has been whittled down to resumes in disguise, where love is often treated like a transaction. I loved how the film avoids easy morality. I couldn't blame any of the characters for their choices. The film uses a grim foundation to deliver something deeply necessary, a sharp, intelligent descent into the messy reality of connection. It's not preachy or pretentious, it simply feels true. At number 7, I have Wake Up Dead Man. This film is a brilliant, sincere introspection on the value of faith and the complex spectrum of religion. It avoids the traps of caricature, giving us both a manipulative, self-important priest and a thoughtful, compassionate representation of Christian ethics in the character of Judd. It neither functions as an atheist fantasy nor an evangelical one. Instead, it captures the full range of the beauty and the horror found in Christianity's history and practice. I loved that it manages to be a splendid mystery without falling into snark, acknowledging the perversion of religious structures while honoring the genuine wonder and the beauty of the faith. It truly blows my mind that a murder mystery can embody such nuance while remaining a fantastic genre piece. I consider it the best of the Knives Out series, and I sincerely hope this series becomes the definitive legacy for Daniel Craig. At number 6, I got Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro, the master of monsters, gives us yet another of his masterpieces. It's a gripping tale of ambition and the tragic consequences of creation, anchored by a visual atmosphere only he could craft. The film's tagline rings so beautifully, "Only monsters play God." This version strips away the cinematic cliches to return to the soul of the original tragedy, exploring the isolation of the created and the hubris of the creator with profound empathy. With this performance, Jacob Elordi has established himself as a bona fide actor in my book. At number 5, I have Sentimental Value. I absolutely love this film. The performances from the 4 main characters were each better than the last. The story was heart-touching, the direction was brilliant, and overall, it stands as a great drama that captures the complexity of human connection with such sincerity. It's one of those rare films where every emotional beat feels earned. The renovation of the house scene is as good thematically as the rebuilding of the characters' own fractured lives, serving as a poignant metaphor for the effort required to restore what time and neglect have worn down. I consider it as the best work of Joachim Trier yet. At number 4, I got Sinners. Watching Sinners, I was absolutely amazed at the filmmaking and how Ryan Coogler made everything work in perfect symphony. The music, the folklore, the acting, and the story all hit the right notes. Michael B. Jordan was awesome, delivering a performance that brings the film's intense supernatural weight. It's a rare kind of blockbuster where the technical craft is just as compelling as the narrative, making every frame feel intentional and powerful. The way it weaves Southern Gothic elements into a high-stakes thriller creates a tension that is absolutely suffocating in the best way possible. At number 3, I have Train Dreams. This film was incredibly soulful and profound, capturing the quiet, sweeping expanse of a life lived on the edges of a changing world. It translates the lyrical beauty of the source material into a visual experience that feels both grounded in history and untethered by time. The story's meditative pace allows you to feel the weight of every loss and the stoic dignity of its protagonists. Much of that power comes from Joel Edgerton, who gives a performance so understated and layered that he becomes the very heart of the film. He says so much without saying anything, capturing a lifetime of grief and resilience in a way that feels utterly raw. It was a complete shock to me that he wasn't nominated for Best Actor at the 2026 Oscars. Recently, I saw a video explaining how recent films have become very loud every second of their runtime and lost the beauty of silence. Train Dreams, with its many silent moments, proves their point. At times, there is nothing but the silence of the forest, and those scenes are very captivating. It's a hauntingly beautiful exploration of solitude and the rugged American wilderness that lingers in your mind like a distant, fading memory. At number 2, I have The Life of Chuck. The Life of Chuck makes a great point through the story of an ordinary man. A life doesn't need to be extraordinary to be a universe of its own. Chuck is an accountant, and yet his inner world is as rich and complex as any epic. It's a cinematic memory palace built from small routines and beautiful moments. By unfolding Chuck's memories like constellations, the film reveals how even the most unremarkable habits carry the full weight of a human life. Tom Hiddleston plays Chuck with deliberate restraint, never reaching for grandeur, while Benjamin Pajak brings a natural, joyful energy to the childhood sequences that sets the whole film's emotional tone. Tender and powerful, The Life of Chuck is a celebration of the multitudes we all contain. The greatest adventures are often the ones lived without fanfare. I am not a big fan of Mike Flanagan, but credit should go where it's due. He did a magnificent job making this film. It's so beautiful to watch and so profound that my heart was full after finishing it. At number 1, I have No Other Choice. I was absolutely blown away by this film. It is a masterclass in tension and pure cinematic craftsmanship. Maestro Park Chan-wook has created a brilliant piece of work that is packed with so many deliberate details that slowly crank up the pressure until you can barely breathe. In my opinion, this is Park's best work yet. It takes everything he has learned about the mechanics of escalation and applies it to a story that is terrifyingly relatable. A man so desperate to save his middle-class life that he resorts to the unthinkable. The technical execution here is flawless. The music fits the atmosphere perfectly, acting like a heartbeat that quickens as Lee Byung-hun's character is pushed closer and closer toward the edge. It creates this suffocating sense of dread that is both dark and weirdly funny, making you feel uncomfortable in the best way possible. Park manages to blend comedy with brutal, high-stake violence in a way that only he can, making you laugh 1 second and horrified the next. Every frame feels intentional, every sound is a warning, and every performance is dialed into that specific high-wire energy. It's a state-of-the-nation satire that captures the absolute madness of the corporate world and the fear of becoming obsolete in the age of automation. It's a rare feat to make a film this harrowing also feel so intelligently playful. By the time it finished, I felt like I had been through a physical experience. This is a symphonic powerhouse and the definitive work of a director at the absolute height of his powers. I will definitely be rewatching it. So there you go. These are my top 10 favorite films of 2025. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you agreed or disagreed in the comments below. See you next time.